Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the 2-year bell pepper plant you see right there. We originally sprouted 11 bell pepper seedlings, and we were letting them grow, but as you can see, the cats would come out and just mow them down to nothing. And we ended up having to take freezer baskets and stacking them around the plants to protect them from the cats being able to gnaw them down. So that one plant didn't start to produce blossoms and bell pepper until the end of the fall. And let me tell you a little bit more about it in just a second. We'd like to ask that you please subscribe, hit the like button, and the notify to stay current with our content. Thank you. So it didn't start producing flowers and fruit until the fall, and you can see all the leaves are already out of the tree. It suffered 3 frosts on the back porch. And it didn't get full sunlight during the day because it was on a screened-in back porch. So anyway, with the frost coming and everything, we moved it to the garage, and we moved it into the garage with an ebb and flow system to keep it hydroponically done. They all had been done out on the back porch like that, but we have this one surviving one, and we would get another 3 seedlings going during the winter. So we moved it into the garage. The ebb and flow would flood it every hour for 4 minutes, and then it just did fine all in the garage because we put 24 hours of light on it, and that way it got plenty of sunshine, and all winter it produced fruit. And then eventually in the spring we would move it outside, and it would grow for the entire summer. And then in the fall, that was a 2-year bell pepper plant. But because the cats were so predacious on them on the back porch, again, we started with 11 seedlings, but they would just gnaw them down, gnaw the leaves off of them. So the poor things were stunted, and one survived because of all the baskets we put around it right there, as you can see. And it was in the fall that it began to produce fruit, and again, it got moved into the garage. Now, I don't want you to think that being in the garage was actually perfect. You can see the one plant right there under the light going on and everything. And then we eventually started some other ones going. But because it was in the garage and the temperature was nice and everything in there, we weren't paying a whole lot of attention to it. We were just letting it do its own little thing. And we ended up getting an infestation of spider mites on the plant, and they really mauled they ate the plants down too. So we had to take them outside and wash them with soap and water, then neem oil, and let them blow in the breeze for a little bit. And again, when they were on the back porch, they suffered some frost, and we were able to recover them and bring them back. But that's why we eventually decided to put them into the garage, because at least it was just getting ready to produce some bell peppers. And again, it did produce the bell peppers for the entire winter. But, in the garage, it was kind of nice. The plant never knew about winter. But when the bugs hit the plant, it really ate the plant down. The cats were not too happy about the colder garage, but they were very interested in that plant right there, just because they like to eat the bell pepper leaves. So we had to watch out for it. But again, it did enjoy a good winter in the garage, where the temperatures were moderated quite a bit from what they were outside with the snow and everything. And as you can see, it produced a lot of fruit. We would go out and harvest it and bring it in. Now, we would bring them in as red peppers because this was a red pepper bell pepper, and they did turn red on the bush, as you will see in some of the later photos. But again, just all winter in the garage. Garage temperature, we were keeping the house at 68 degrees, and we didn't put any additional heat in there. We would occasionally open the door out to the garage. And as you can see, a couple of the leaves have been mowed on a little bit in that picture there, so we were having to figure out another way, and we ended up putting a barricade there, some child fencing for a stair guard, just to keep the cats away from it. But again, once it was in the garage, it had a good time, and then following spring, out it went into the yard, where we didn't have to worry about it quite so much, just making sure that it got plenty of water. And it was a 2-year bell pepper plant. It just happened to work like that. When we moved it outside, we transferred it from hydroponically. We took the medium and all that was in, and we actually put it in a dirt pot, and then we went ahead and watered it from there. Stay tuned. Now this is some time lapse that we were just shooting of the plant, keeping an eye on the cats that you'll see them go through, but you can also see the daylight and the nighttime come and go through the garage doors. And we're liking the new garage doors. They let a lot of light in, and we're eventually going to get the garage organized a little bit so I can have it an area out there that I can work in. But anyway, we shot these time lapses just to shoot some video on them and kind of get a feel for what was going on with the plants and everything. And then eventually, like I said, we did get that spider mite infestation. And as you can see, here's hopscotch up on the railing, just wanting to examine what's going on with the plants for us. So they were very helpful in that regard. We also have some time lapse of the ebb and flow. Looking down into it, you can see it since it is on time lapse, the water rises very quickly and goes away very quickly, and you can see the shadow ebb lines on the side of the tank. So here we go with some more video, and let's stay tuned for some more fun. Now I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this time lapse real quickly. You'll see the cats blipping in and out there. You might see us going up and down the ramp. You might see the doors open and close. You might see a car in the driveway. You never know. It's just a time lapse while the plants were growing. And then I'm going to pick you back up in just about a minute when we get into where we had the hydroponic pest problem. And we took some video of that and did a little bit of talking about that. So stay tuned for that. So here are the plants after the spider mites really jumped into them, and those are the 3 seedlings we brought up during the winter. And as you can see, there were 4 seedlings, and they got nuded down pretty good, and you can see some of the flies going around. And again, soap and water outside to kind of knock them down, and then some neem oil, and then eventually some ladybugs to let them munch away at them. No insecticides were used, but they did quite the job of eating down the plant, as you can see. The cats didn't help either, but that was the little problem that we had right there with all of that during the nice climate that we were producing for them in the winter in the garage. And then, though you could see them on the plant, this is from the web, a much closer look at some of the spider mites, but they were very plentiful, and the ladybugs had a good meal on them, as well as all the washing and the other stuff that we did to get rid of them. So you want to make sure you keep them out, and again, it was because of the 24 hours of light and the nice conditions that we had. And that's them looking like on a rose right there, but that's pretty much what they looked like on the bell peppers. They were just everywhere and running around. Here are some ladybugs that are just munching the heck out of them, but these are not on our bell peppers. This again is a some stuff we got from the web. But as you can see, denuded the plants really well down. They did eventually come back, and they went out into the yard and in the springtime and produced bell peppers for us, along with the 2-year-old bell pepper plant that hopscotch right there is bothering. And as you can see, it is a red bell pepper, because when it produces the fruit they eventually turn red, and we know to harvest them and bring them in. And again, this plant produced for us all winter and all that next summer. It didn't really come into bloom until the fall of 2022, but in 2023 it continued to produce. And there it is in the ebb and flow tank right there. The volume will change, and right here it is filling, so it comes up to the edge of the reservoir every 4 minutes, gives the plants a good soaking, going back down into the reservoir. You just have to keep your solution balanced in the reservoir and make sure that you replenish the water with reverse osmosis water that the plants do use, and evaporation takes care of. So it was a little fun project that we had with the bell peppers. We learned a lot about hydroponic ebb and flow systems. That's the only one we've ever really tried. And then again, once it was all finished, we moved them out to the pool area, and the plants produced out in the pool area all that summer for us. So ladies and gentlemen, there's our little story of our 2-year bell pepper plant. We had one, and we had all the other ones that we got through the spider mite infestation and got into producing fruit for us. So I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this informative and useful. And again, thanks for watching.